unlike
before
like
3.
Dark Souls, it actually rewards aggressive play.
Yun nga,
There was a
yun nga.
Dark Souls like dapat maghihintay ka. Yun actually.
Actually, yung argument nga daw dun, 2 really rewards aggressive play. Kasi like, using like a shield might reward you na manalo ka agad. Pero it's like
Yeah,
the worst type of play eh. You know?
it's the easiest build.
Ano
Yung
ganun.
shield build. Yeah, but it's
So,
the easiest. So you don't rely on the roll that much.
kasi pare,
You just kind of.
you know me, I'm fast eh. I'm fast on my feet. So I do rolls, man. So parang,
You gotta do like yung mentality mo sa Dark Souls is like Sonic. Right?
I gotta go fast, man.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
gotta
go
go
fast.
fast.
Even in this medieval adventure, pare. You gotta go fast, pare.
What
Wait, about Sonic and the Black Knight.
Sonic and the Black Knight. Wow. The, I didn't know you were into vor. I didn't know you were a furry.
We're all furries, pare. Like if you watch Disney, you're a fucking furry. I mean, Beauty and the Beast. Come on, dude. Fucking Tinkerbell, dude.
Wait, that's it. Tinkerbell is not an animal.
She's a cross between a butterfly and a girl, di ba?
But
Well,
it's the girl
yeah.
part we're attracted to, not the wings.
Well, hot naman. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
fine.
Tinkerbell was fucking hot, dude. River, you're a bit low.
Ay, wait. Hold on. I'll put my mic. Hello? How about now?
Better.
Better. Okay. Um, I'll do you intro na.
Yeah?
Okay.
Also,
Go ahead,
wait,
baby boy.
actually, I can't see your video, but
You
whatever.
can't see my.
I
I
can
can see
see.
my video.
I can actually see Giselle's video.
Okay.
Weird.
Yung
Okay,
video
whatever,
ni
I'll just-
River is
Well,
a bit.
it's there. I see you now.
Yung video ni River is a bit blurry, pero it's ano.
That's okay.
Did you know na we pay so much for your internet dito, and it's ano, I didn't know na yung extra money that we're paying for fast internet is going into teaching us lessons like patience and like not needing internet, kasi that's what's happening. Anyway, that's a joke. That's a bit.
Cool.
I like yung
Oh,
response.
I know.
ni Andren.
I think
That's what I always liked about your stand-up ko, is like yung knowing responses ng audience.
You're like,
That's-
yeah,
That makes
interesting.
sense. Uh,
yeah.
Apparently, yung joke ko wasn't so rewarding for Andren. Might as well talk about rewards in video games as yung topic na. We got there. We got there without 2 minutes. Ganun.
Yeah.
That's all I
So,
got.
Yeah. What do you mean by rewarding moments? Like, kasi, with today's online gaming being the biggest thing, like, do you still get a feeling of, yeah, I guess so, like, when you kill someone offline, that feels rewarding. Is that the kind of rewarding that you mean?
Well, I was hoping to attack this from like several angles,
Yeah.
kasi it's like,
Okay.
video games are so wide naman. There's no one way to be rewarding as a video game, kasi like
Yeah.
an RPG is rewarding a lot of the times because of yung graphics and the friends that you made along the way, right? Or like Tony Hawk is rewarding dahil you get to land that trick. So I thought we would have
Kick-ass tricks.
like a freewheeling discussion on like maybe let's come at it from like the personal perspective. When was give me like an example of like a rewarding moment for you in a video game na parang you said na, oh, that feels so good, yung ganun.
I have one.
Okay.
Okay. This one, I'm diving into like the really abstract rewards, kagad from the get go. But for me, one of the biggest rewarding moments in a video game that I felt when I was a kid was in the third Phoenix Wright game. You ever play the Phoenix Wright games?
It's about diba, solving cases and like being a lawyer.
You're
I was
you're a
also-
lawyer.
Is it like a text adventure game?
Yeah,
Phoenix
but
Wright?
but it focuses a lot on picking the right evidence to break down someone's
Okay. Here's
argument.
the close thing that I played for a bit lang. Is it like Dragon Rank? Pa? Am I saying that right?
It's like Danganronpa, yeah.
Danganronpa, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the it's the progenitor, is the first one. So there's a specific case in Phoenix Wright where you feel like there's no I'm not I forgot the specifics, but there was a moment where you felt like you're about it's like a big anime moment that you're about to lose the big case, and the crooked lawyers are getting ahead of you because they're cheating and they're using all their corruption money and whatnot. But then you break through any moment where you break through an argument with just sound logic. It makes you feel smart, and I feel like that's the reward. When like I love it when a puzzle game makes you feel smart instead of like handing you the answer. It like you actually figured it out yourself, and then you feel good about yourself. But really, behind the scenes, the game developer did a really clever trick. Nah, they fed you enough information that you were able to solve it by yourself, even though it wasn't necessarily like by yourself. Like they obviously put some like clues there, but it's invisible enough that you feel like you did it yourself. And I feel like that's a good reward with those kinds of games, at least. So that was mine.
This isn't my main one, but like it's when a villain is so good in a game, like yung part na you just there are very few games now where the villain is just pure evil lang talaga, and make that character interesting kahit pure evil lang siya. And I forgot her name, fuck, pero it's hard to pronounce eh. Yung main baddie sa Wolfenstein 2, the girl,
The German lady.
the German lady, and it's satisfying yung death when someone's so evil and the death is so brutal. Like literally by the end, you are going down slowly in this parang parang elevator going down slowly while the girl is in a late night Nazi talk show, pro Nazi talk show. You're going down slowly. You've killed all the security guards, and you're just walking slowly. And as the show is going on, as the show is going on, lalapit ka dahan-dahan, and she notices you, and you just shove her head in a desk, and you take a fucking mini axe, and it's just a quick time event, but it works so well, like, and you smash it in her face, and you literally see with the power of the PS4, by the way, yung fucking face niya get ripped off,
Oh my god.
and you talking to the camera, and it's basically delivering a wrestling promo to the Nazis. And then, and then as you finish, alam mo yung we're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. Parang Twisted Sister ata or Quite Right yung kumanta. Pero it's a metal version of that.
Yeah.
And the credits roll, pare. And like that's a satisfying moment, pare.
That's pretty cool.
Again, not my favorite.
I love
Pero that's
that.
Is
pretty
that's the
cool.
final part, right? Like that's the big woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get this sick ass version and we're not gonna take it. It's pretty cool. And hopefully you guys play it because it's pretty hard actually. But
I
it's
played the first
fun.
one.
Yeah.
It's the remix, diba? Yung
Yeah.
versus Wolfenstein New Order, and then New
Yeah.
Colossus is the second one.
Yeah. And my third one, which I didn't like that much, yung
It's
the
New
twins.
Blood, right?
Yeah, New Blood. Yeah.
That doesn't have as much story though, diba? So
Yeah. And yeah, medyo broken yung level progression niya. Pero yeah.
well, I tried to play yung first one and it was too hard.
Yeah, it's a hard
But
game.
you know, it's like kaya ko naman, pero it's also like I don't like it so much. You know, parang pero
Yeah,
yun
you
nga, I wanted to
yes,
play it kasi
yes.
you played yun too eh. And
Yeah.
I
It's
got
easy to
stuck.
compare it kasi to Doom then eh. Like, because since they're made by the same people.
Yeah,
But it's very different. from
I
Doom.
thought it was like Doom na you'd glide
not.
like
No,
butter.
no, it feels slower. It feels
It's
slower
slow,
than
eh.
It's slower, yeah.
It's plodding eh. So like a rewards in video games. Trying to I like yung I like yung sa completionist thing sa Tony Hawk when you get like tapes and like finish yung mga lists of like
those.
things to do.
Those are always a bitch. Dun sa mga Tony Hawks, like
I like
collecting the tapes.
But I like yung completionist feeling sometimes. It's a very I don't know why it's rewarding except that it ticks something in your lizard brain na parang nakompleto ko lahat. It's like I explored everything and it's like I'm getting so much of my money's worth. But like really if you really like Okay, I have a friend, a very close friend, na he said na first time na he got a job, he grew up poor. Like, he's one of my best friends. And he said na, yeah, Josel, nung una akong magka-job, I tried lahat ng items sa Burger King. Yun yung completionist feeling niya. Tapos parang,
That's
parang,
real ass.
pero like, also at the same time, I don't know if like, okay. Like, it's not, if you say to someone na parang, oh yeah, binili ko lahat ng flavor ng Ligo sardines. Parang, okay. That's, that doesn't sound rewarding in real life. Pero like in a video game, apparently, if you collect all of yung skate letters, it's the greatest feeling ever. Or like, get you secret tape. Parang, I got the secret tape behind the dumpster where the guy was jacking off. Parang, that's
And
impressive.
aren't there only two flavors of Lego?
Well, I was just thinking of something. No, merong, yeah, yung tomato at saka, baka may
It's
spicy.
spicy.
Wala bang
Yeah,
Spanish
spicy.
style?
Oh yeah, Spanish.
In Spanish na.
Pero
Pero,
still, can I ask you something about Tony Hawk?
ah,
In a way, because I also played those games.
ang
The
ganda.
best game.
Can I ask you something about Tony Hawk? Have you played any other kind of game except Tony Hawk?
No, that's not what I'm saying, dude.
Sorry. I'm kidding.
It's best controlling, best feeling game ever. But that game is broken in the way that you just need the high air, yung stat na air.
Oh, yeah.
Kasi
Oh.
I played that game with like manual. Minax out ko muna yung manual, and it was hard. And I realized, oh fuck, to collect everything, you need the high air. Like I think that's the only thing broken about those games. Like it's harder when you focus on like the balance things.
On grinding, yeah.
Yeah. Yun lang.
But it's
Pero I
like,
get you.
but if you focus on yung air, it's less fun. Like, it's not as, that's not the
Yeah.
funnest way to play it. I mean,
But
for
that's
me.
like in video games when there's a way that is the most like ideal, now you get the best results, but it's the least fun. A lot of gamers
Actually.
will still pick that over the most fun. It's just how gamers are wired sometimes. Na, even though it's not fun, like in Skyrim, in the beginning, where I mean, if you can grind like a million iron like knives, so you can upgrade your armor
I know.
smithing.
I've
Like, that's
done
not
that.
fun at all. But everyone's done it just so they can get the dragon armor.
Nandun pala ako sa fucking first village, ginagawa ko.
You're just making knives.
But it got to a point, River, that I stopped doing it. It really ruins the immersion. Like, okay,
No,
I'm just gonna
it's
play
not
this.
rewarding. See, now we're back to the
It's-
topic.
Yeah, well, it's not rewarding because it's like the game designers do not want you to do the one thing over and over
Yes.
again like yung ano. Pero like I do like grinding sometimes. Like since
It's fun.
Dark Souls 2, I
Yeah.
just grinded the fuck out of myself. Tas parang this is the best. This is the best
Some
feeling.
some games make grinding very rewarding, and yeah, Dark Souls.
Yeah, and again, not to talk about this super indie mega darling called Skyrim over and over again. Pero here's the interesting thing. I did a run there where I just spent 10 hours on the first village. Like, parang I was playing it real time. That's how deep I got into the Skyrim hole. Like, hindi pa ako dumadating sa Whiterun. Like, medyo okay din. May dwarven armor now. I just explored alone. Like, without even getting the powers. Kasi,
Yeah.
this feels good. Like, yeah.
I like the idea of doing it real time.
I have-
Na
Yeah,
you don't-
that's right.
you
I
don't-
have a
you
question
don't
about
fast travel.
Skyrim. I sorry.
Go ahead. That's it.
I have a question
ahead.
about Skyrim sa inyo, and like, I want you to answer honestly. Do you think Skyrim is a well-designed game?
Depends on.
Yeah.
on
The combat stinks. The combat stinks. I don't like the combat at all. But other than that, everything's okay.
Pero
I feel like on a technical standpoint, it's not the most well designed game. Like there's
Yeah.
still some bugs. There's definitely
Yeah, it's a
some glitches.
Bethesda game. I
But
mean,
I think from a conceptual, like a very abstract way
yung
of looking at
grand.
it.
Yeah, yung
Yeah,
grand.
the way that it makes you feel like you're on a grand adventure. If that's the design vision that they were looking for, then they succeeded, syempre. But
Yeah.
from like a technical, like the combat sucks. Like the tiny
Yeah.
pieces don't fit together too well. But when you zoom out, it's really nice.
but I feel like it's like if you went to like a friend's house, tapos they had like every toy ever. It feels like ganun yung Skyrim na parang, yeah, it's gonna be the best game ever kasi you crammed everything in it.
Yeah, I think that's true.
You know.
It doesn't really.
I think it's the feeling you get when you go to a fucking Only buffet Like everything's
Yeah.
there, but it's not the best
Yeah,
version of
each
everything
one
there.
piece
It's
not great,
cold.
pero like all of it na parang, yeah, I got
I
pizza
got
and
my money's
sushi.
worth.
Fine.
I'm full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pero
And
like
I'm
if
gonna mix the sushi with the pizza, and
With the
yes,
it
yeah.
pizza.
might taste
No other
terrible,
place
but
would let me do that. Yeah.
they
That's
let
so,
Skyrim.
pero they let me do that. Eh. So that's pretty cool.
that's true. That's true. Kind
Uh,
of like sa GTA, right? Pero like I feel like maganda yung core ng GTA compared sa
I guess yeah, GTA is more tightly designed compared to
mm,
Skyrim.
and
I get what you mean.
again, to your points, again, sorry, I keep repeating. Yung hard games are really rewarding, like Dark Souls. Even like I finished. This was the first hard game that I played. Na tinapos ko yung Maximo. You remember Maximo? Sa
Maximo's
PS2.
so good, dude. You should have you
Dude,
played that, River? It's a PS2 game.
I'm looking at a maximum.
it's like
It's
the
go,
I say it's like 3D ghosts and
yeah,
goblins though.
pero like loosely based kasi
Oh.
it's a lot easier than Ghosts and Goblins. Pero it kind of feels like it kind of feels like Dark Souls sa tunay lang yung combat.
Oh,
Right?
I know
Kasi
this game. Yeah, yeah.
it's so beautiful then. I don't know why they can't remaster it kasi
Yeah,
it's so
I think they made the best kasi all you fight robots. So hindi ganun ka detailed dapat kaya chunky yung mga enemies. So,
ang ganda ng
like ayan.
design and like the world is just I think it looks better than Jack and Daxter and any of that stuff. Like it's just I'm pretty niya and like I don't it's kind of forgotten at this point yung Maximo. I'm happy na
This
you
looks
brought it up.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love
it's
Max.
I heard this was like the proto Dark Souls na yung Dark Souls hard that people keep talking about.
Yeah,
it's
and I
hard.
can't believe it. Yeah.
And
Pero
they
it's
they
so
made it
tight.
easier sa 2 eh. So parang not as memorable.
Army of
ganun.
Sin, is that the one?
Mm-mm. But that's a good game. And like it
Yeah.
was there's something dun sa early PS2 era of games where they were having so much fun sa making models. Kasi ang ganda ng models ng game na yun eh. It's so
Yeah.
so well sculpted. Everything's so well sculpted. I don't know what about it exactly ganun.
You
I
know
think
what it is?
to your point, like
Go down.
what is it, River?
I was just gonna
What
say
is it,
na
River?
because back then people didn't really care about yung finer details like yung pores sa
true.
skin and
Yeah.
hair physics, so they just focused on pure like aesthetic design.
Yeah,
So that's
best
why
shapes.
yeah.
Tama.
Yeah. Like they passed the silhouette test. Now if you look at it with not just silhouette, you can identify who he
Oh.
is.
That's an
Yeah.
artist or silhouette test. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I think part them like it was in the era of games na my triple A title, pero basically wala pang indie games nun. So
Oh, yeah.
people took chances then eh. Like for example, Metal Gear Solid 2 and let's say Maximo, like two very different budgets, I'm assuming, but they're still the same price. So people took more chances kasi like you can play a fucking Gran Turismo 3, but you can also play a fucking like Team Buddies or something like
Yeah.
some weird game. Yeah. So yeah.
PS2
Yeah.
had like I think it refined yung double A type game. Kasi you had a lot of double A type games sa PS1
I miss
era.
that. I miss that a lot. The
Yeah.
double eight. Like there's so few. Like the first that comes to mind, and then I don't know who it was between the two of you that didn't like it, but Hellblade like for me is like
Oh, I love
good double
Hellblade.
A.
Andren
Ah,
hates it.
Very small budget, pero like it's not indie because indie should like it's not pixel graphics, not hand drawn graphics. It looks triple A, but it plays very double A. There's another one called Recore. Have you play that game?
That
Oh,
looks
fuck,
like
I-
ass.
Yeah, but that's an example of a double A game, but
Okay,
a bad
okay.
example, I guess. Pero yun, that's what I meant. Na
Is it good?
it's not good.
Okay, I'll tell you something. Rewarding. I played. Nagalit si Andren when I
No,
mentioned
no!
this. No, I'm joking. Pero like I know why it upset you.
Still
It's like a
arguing.
side-scrolling platformer with physics-styled puzzle puzzle solving yung Trine. Okay, I played it with my little nephew. He loved it. He absolutely loved it. Pero like I kind of hated it kasi when you have to solve puzzles and the feeling is so inexact, it is infuriating when yung player 2 keeps jumping ahead of you na parang, stop! Teka lang, Josh! Teka lang!
Yeah.
We're still, wag ka kasi ikaw umuna! And then, but the game, the night feels great. It's like a good chunky feeling
What is
of
that
fight.
game?
Shrine.
for like what is the game?
It's like Lord of the Rings, pero like gayer. Like it's like
Yeah.
it kind of like yung fair. Like it's like very light looking and like it's, but it's like you're floating like a box, and then yung box you're gonna float it across the screen and put it up on top of each other, and then you're gonna jump on top of it habang there are like skeletons firing at you, ganun. And you switch between three characters. I mean, I can see it really fun naman, pero like if there was no, if it didn't have yung puzzle part, it would be generic, I think. Ganun.
Yeah,
I,
see, we're playing the first shrine though, the
Yeah,
very
yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
That's for me the first shrine. It's good, but it feels like a proof of concept. They
Uh,
really perfected on the second and fourth one. The third one is kind of ass, but the second and fourth one,
Second.
especially the fourth one, it's like very like they got it. Like, it's like the Hitman games, na, and like to talk about rewarding. Like I feel like what if I don't know if you guys played the newer Hitman games, but like from what I've seen at least, they how they were able to perfect the formula is they found out makes the what makes the game more rewarding to the player because they stripped away all the nonsense stuff that people didn't really not necessarily care about but didn't focus on. Like in the older Hitman games they had really weird like story, melodramatic story, and there's this one about the I think it was Absolution with the nun, the stripper nun with a machine gun. I forgot, but they took away all that nonsense and they boiled it down to just stealth. You do the stealth in a clever way, and then you get away in the from the front door, and like everyone is like walking past you. No one knows that you did it, and that's how. Like I think because they found out like oh this is what makes Hitman so rewarding. They were able to like perfect the formula.
yeah,
But yeah,
and
that's what they did with Trine. Is what I'm saying.
okay, correct lang kung mali ako, River, but does it feel like technically an open world stealth game? Parang
Yeah,
ganun.
it's like not
Alam mo may
necessarily.
maps, may certain maps, pero you're
Yeah.
free to do what you want para ma-attain
Yeah,
yung objective.
exactly. Parang ano siya, compared to an open world na Skyrim, it's not like that. It's like if get one town from Skyrim but make it super fleshed out, like everyone has routines, there's events happening in every, and you can miss an event if you're not paying attention. Like things happen at the same time. Like you know, like in video games, back then especially because they didn't have the processing power. It's only one thing at a time. Like this happens and then
Yeah,
this
yeah.
happens. In Hitman, multiple things happen at once, and you can miss certain assassination opportunities if you're not paying attention. And I like that. It feels alive. You know, it doesn't feel like you're in a like. It's not like the world caters to you. You have to adjust to the world and improvise.
That's
And
that's
that's
what
what makes
that's
it
why I felt
rewarding.
with like Spirit Fair. Sorry, with Spirit Fair, that there are like a lot of things happening at once, and that's how you
Yes,
juggle
yeah.
stuff. And then
Kind of like that.
like yung
Are you?
ano,
Sorry,
sorry.
naglagaw. Go ahead, Giselle.
Then nung
Naglag.
weekend I played with my little nephew Super Mario 3D World, great. And then we also played Minecraft for the first time. Well, I played it dati, pero like I really didn't get into it. Parang okay, like whatever. Pero now like with playing with him, parang I realized na oh, like once you got yung controls straight, because I'm playing on the Switch, it's very rewarding to just dig a hole and shit. And it's like your thought process is, oh, I have to expand this wall. I need to get this kind of block. So it's like very 1:1 lang yung nangyayari. It's never that um overwhelming, even though there's a million things to do. Pero like at any one point, you're just thinking of one thing, as compared to something like Spirit Fair that I kind of get tired. Then sometimes na parang, oh, I'm going to this island, pero I'm also cooking something, and then I have to feed these three fucks, and then merong akong i-build, and then there's a lot. But that's what is very interesting about Spirit Fair for me.
I wish na ikaw yung bida sa Spirit Fair, Giselle. Tapos, ilalagay mo sa Everdor, tapos sobrang galit ka lang sa just go to the fucking door!
Yeah, I would be the noisiest fucking silent protagonist. Tangina naman! Niluto ko na yung dinuguan!
How do we make glass?
No, I messaged these guys. I don't know how to make glass. Just smelt some bottles. Oh, okay, I'm dumb.
Oh yeah.
Pero I wanted to ask River, like, are you a fan of stealth games?
Depends on the game, because
Yeah, kasi
I don't
me,
like stealth.
I
No.
hate stealth games. Pero
Yeah,
there are some things that changed my perspective on stealth. That's why I might buy Hitman. Kasi if it's close to Dishonored, has any of you played Dishonored?
I love Dishonored. That's
That
why
is
I.
the only stealth game talaga na you feel like such a badass taking them down. Especially because I played that in the hardest difficulty. Basically, if you play that in the hardest difficulty, yung HP mo pares lang sa pinakamahinang character doon. And what's so rewarding about that, you really feel like a badass. Kasi when you when you stealth kill someone, oh shit, press lang HP namin. Okay, AI siya, pero whatever. And then you can chain your stealth kills with like certain skills like blink, and you can freeze time. It took stealth. It made you feel like a legit badass yung game na yun.
Yeah, I feel like the stealth games that I like is when you can tell na stealth was the main focus of
Yeah.
the design. There's some games that they force the stealth. Like I
Yeah,
think
like
for me one
Assassin's
of
Creed.
them,
Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
which is ironic because it's Assassin's Creed. But there's one no. Have you guys played Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, like I love that game, but there's some stealth sections. I was like, you can't tell na they want. I don't know if they want you to mess up on purpose, but you get spotted so easily, and there's no way to fix it. So you just end up killing like 100 orcs. That's what happens all the time. Every time you do a stealth section, it's so
Yeah,
hard.
Shadow of Mordor is it's an action game through and through.
Exactly.
Why the
Yeah, yeah. But
Did
they
they,
shoehorn the stealth.
Can they stop that sa video games like stealth? Like I played Metal Gear Solid 3 and then there's like a section I literally killed 100 guards because they kept coming. Can't there just be like, okay, you killed 10 guards, game over or something? Kasi it's like I'm genociding of people dahil lang ng AI na to. I'm not blaming you, but there should be a level cap on how many dead bodies I can throw off a bridge. They just keep running
Dishonored
at
does
me.
that. Dishonored.
I think
There's
to
like a
your point,
limited
just
number of guards. It's a
yeah, I
Dishonored.
think to your point, just like as a series progresses, they throw stealth. Like remember the first Metal Gear, I was so stealth heavy, and by Metal Gear 5, man, it's just hey, here's an open world sandbox, man, have fun, basically. And that's
I mean,
also what
it's fun.
happened with
It's fun.
Assassin's Creed. That's also what like the first two ones that were super stealth based, and by Black Flag,
Yeah,
saka
why
yung
is Black
ship,
Flag
You're
a
a
stealth
pirate.
game? You're fucking
just just shooting people with pistols, like, like they said, fuck it.
uh Assassin's Creed. It looks good. Like I was watching
Yeah.
yung little nephew kasi parang yung pala yung favorite game niya. Kasi syempre you're like a badass
Which
assassin.
Assassin's Creed is this?
He likes yung
You
pirate
say
one,
four.
yung
Oh,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
the best.
black.
It's
It's
the
the
best
best
one.
one because you're not really an assassin.
Yeah. You can like 70% of that game was just me upgrading my ship. This badass fucking killing machine of the
No.
seas.
Yung little nephew ko had like a whole like hindi mo na connection but like existential crisis or something parang how can he not like Assassin's Creed? Did he not see me stab that person 3 times in the neck? It's the coolest thing ever. Tapos I was telling him na parang oh, if I saw someone in a hood, I would just run away from them because I'd assume that he's the killer. Kasi that's Assassin's Creed.
I'm surprised your nephew is playing that game, just because
He's
the
so
poster
young.
of that thing is so fucking.
It's
Like,
violent.
I know it's supposed to be sluggish out, but like as a kid, like I would get impatient.
He
to play.
likes it. I don't know why. It's got delayed stuff. So like yeah, it's like I don't know. Pero like, back to rewards. Yung reward for him
Yeah.
is like seeing a badass kill a
I
lot of
feel like
people.
if we were to break it down, I mean, this is just a general. Like I could be wrong, but like for me, from what I've seen from the games I've played, there's many. Like there's maybe 3 or 4 ways to reward the player. Like there's you get you feel rewarded because you see numbers go high or get big or whatever. Like your damage is higher, you have more HP, whatever. Like that. Another one is to feel rewarded because you're fulfilling like a fantasy. Like so, like maybe your nephew just has the urge to stab a man and he fulfills it to Assassin's Creed. So that's the rewarding feeling. Like I said, like what no, Andren said, so Dishonor, you feel like a badass and that's why you feel rewarded.
Power
And I guess
fantasy.
one is, yeah, and maybe another one for me that I haven't touched on yet is sometimes games reward you with story and with with like background of characters, like a game that does this. And I know you. I don't know if you don't like this game yourself, but it's Hades does this. Nah, it rewards you with no. It rewards you with good weapons and good stats as you play, and you get better. But it also rewards you
Ayun.
with story, like how much closer you are to getting out the underworld. You get to know all these crazy gods and characters around you, and they
That
get fleshed out more.
that's what
Yeah,
Spiritfarer did. Like it was very obvious
exactly.
naman eh. Right? Na parang like there's like a whole number system there. Pero at the same time, it'll catch you off guard na parang, yeah, he gave me pork chops but my wife is dead and she killed herself. It's like that's pathos ganun.
Yeah,
Um
the end game is no understanding why these fictional drawings of animals can't move on and die. Like that's
mm,
the reward. You
Yeah, and
understand like what's
I
holding them
think
back.
the rewarding thing then is discovering a game that you thought you might not like, but you loved it. Like that was
mm.
Spirit Fair for me. Now I'm gonna fucking hate this fucking game.
That's true.
Like, this was a mistake. I thought this was gonna be Stardew Valley like,
I want
pero like
you know what
by
I
the end,
want? You know what
I
I
loved
want
it.
to happen sa podcast na to? Like we introduce more indie games kay Andren and pretty soon yung back ng kanyang room meron na LGBT flag and then meron na kung ano, symbols and stuff and the Andren has like colored hair and he's like, I identify as
Yeah, I
It's gonna be
listened to
sad.
fucking Arcade Fire for some reason.
Yeah, you listen to Arcade Fire. There's gonna be
that's
like an Undertale thing behind them.
that's why ano, ang good,
Yeah, I'm considering playing Undertale again properly this time
proper.
without
Yeah.
I
killing
think
anyone.
I think you'd
Please
like
do
it
it.
kasi it's
Fun.
all cute and shit eh. It's very anime actually, yung mga
Yeah, kasi
characters.
I've heard like from a friend like if you don't play it while just killing everyone like the wrong way, there's a way. Kasi may mga funny moments daw
Yeah.
when you talk to them. Like there's this deer, because you need to outflex him.
Yeah, this
Yeah. It's
Like,
all
okay, that's
funny.
pretty dumb. You need to do
Although
this.
there's this one. Oh, there's this one with like with a married couple, not dogs, but they're not. They don't want to address you unless you fix the relationship problems. Like
yeah.
that's a combat scenario. It's
Pero
very cute ways.
pero I think you might hate it kasi I don't think you like bullet hells and there's like that's what the game becomes, a bullet hell eh.
Yeah, it's like
Entirely.
basically I just played it because what are these people talking about? Pero like as I played it, I get it naman. Even in a genocide run, it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
Mm.
Pero like I'll try playing it properly this time.
Mm. I ano pa ba? I tried to finish that game pero I got to the final boss and apparently I shouldn't have eaten yung pie at the beginning kasi that makes the final boss so much easier. And I just kind of resented the game kasi like how can you lock this ending for me if I just fucking ate the first item that was given to
what? I
me?
didn't know that.
There's a pie
I
thing na
didn't know that.
parang na dapat hindi mo kinain when it's come from the moo cow lady, ganon. Pero like
It's
I
like
got
the
most of it.
Matrix. You ate the blue pill, buddy. Game over.
Yeah, you just got blue pilled.
Black
Um,
pill.
I can again. I think it's time to talk about Ignited. This is my number one game that rewarded me in every sense of the way. Corny, pero like kasi I'm a huge fan of this series. Have any of you played any of the Tales series?
Yeah,
Tales.
Wait, Tales of Vesperia, Tales of
Oh, I
Exilius.
have Vesperia. I'm a huge fan of the first 5 minutes of it, and then I.
Yeah, in any RPG, yan yung peak, the first 5 minutes of any
That's-
RPG.
Someday I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna say I finished a new RPG. Pero that today is not that day.
Okay, here's my reason why, especially Tales of Graces. And I think you guys can play it because it came out on the PS3 and Wii U. So I'm thinking it's probably in the Switch.
damn.
So yeah.
I have a
So why I like that game is like normally so RPG when you progress you level up. Like tataas yung stats mo here. There are these things called titles. So when you level up, separate yung titles and leveling up. Ah. So you level up while grinding. While in titles you pick a title and as you level up that title. And yung mga makukuha mo sa titles are skills, like quality of life issues, like it makes the combat faster or slower, depending on your play preference. It increases certain stats, and it adds certain skills. And what's amazing about it, kasi when you start playing it, especially as like yung vanilla parang yung skills mo, it feels sluggish and slow. Like that was always thinking like, ay, ang bagal ng character ko. Tas parang it feels clunky. Pero that's why they did it pala. Kasi as you progress with these titles, depending on your playstyle, the game changes. It becomes faster. It becomes more reactive. Like it's so cool. Like not since Grandia with their weapon system, when you level up, you also level up your proficiency on that particular weapon. Pero dito tangina hindi lang weapon eh. It yung speed mo, yung durability mo, and to unlock these titles, it encourages exploration din eh. Kasi to unlock some titles, you get them through dialogue, you get them through
Talaga?
eating. Yeah, dude, it's
That's so
so
weird.
good.
That's cool.
It's so good. Like no RPG has done that ever since na. It has two level up systems eh. Not it's I can't explain it that well, pero here's the thing. Think of it as you're equipping a weapon, yung title, and you get skills that you would never unlock if you don't talk to people, if you don't cook certain foods, if you don't fucking make certain gear, you're never gonna unlock some titles. And by the end of the game, I think it's impossible getting any of them. Kaya may new game plus. And then by the end, your character is, depending on the titles you pick, is so different from where you started. And it's so satisfying having a fucking cool level up system, which makes grinding not a chore. Eh. Kasi when you're grinding, there's only one reason you're grinding, to level up. But with these titles, you're grinding not just to level up, but to get skills, but to get like quality of life bonuses.
You, ch-
Yeah, it
you,
has the
you,
best level up system of
you
any
literally
RPG.
change yung game mismo, like,
That's interesting.
yung with the quality of life stuff, yung mga ganun, like, there
Yes,
are
yes. The
shortcuts.
way,
That's interesting.
yeah,
It's very risky. Like from the beginning, they make a game that's not super intuitive on purpose, just so you can.
I don't think if they did it on purpose, pero
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, kasi
No, but that's
basically in
interesting.
any RPG, it feels very slow yung combat sa umpisa eh. But like as you progress, that's why I love Tales of the Tales series kasi I think that's the reason why triple A beat 'em ups died eh. Kasi they added an RPG element to like beat 'em ups eh. If you're thinking
Yeah.
that way.
That's
So
what
like,
happened. That's how I
yeah,
felt with Tales of Vesperia. That's the only game that I
yeah,
played. Like the opening, you only have like two moves. You attack forward or you attack without pressing forward. I was like,
yeah.
this is dull. And then as you play, you get all these combos, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But I haven't experienced like what you said. You changing the game itself. Like, I mean, I guess you get faster, but that's insane that it changes.
No, you
Very
get certain stat bonuses
okay.
and upgrades to your skills. So it's so interesting. I love it.
I love that.
Like no RPG since this is 2012 pa ata. So yeah, no RPG since has like in a combat perspective, like made me so addicted, dude. I played 100 hours ata yung ginastos ko sa fucking game
It
na yan.
it sounds like like when you got like a very special game like that, now it's hard to replicate in terms of like development. Like kunyari, no one's really made a sequel sa FF Tactics, no one's really made a sequel sa Chrono Trigger kasi there's just such a high level of programming kasi there's so many, it's like such a perfect thing, right? Na parang no one's gonna bother duplicating that if they can do something similar pero lesser and mas madali, right? So like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was so bitter. Dun
Yeah.
sa like yung sinabi nila sa yung road trip na Final Fantasy, it's gonna be active na hindi na turn like Tales have been doing that since the PS1.
That's
Like what
true.
the fuck are you guys talking about? Like this is the new thing in RPGs. Like shut up.
didn't that sa Legend of Mana pa, like it's really old yung active time battle
Yeah, Secret
system.
of Mana. Yeah, like
Secret of
yeah,
Mana,
it's true.
right? That's a classic game that I finished like last year. I loved it. Ganun, that was cool.
I never beat that. I have a copy. But speaking of Chrono Trigger, I'm playing Chrono Trigger again because I
Oh.
never actually beat it because I'm in the final hour, the moment before you fight the pinaka last boss. but I'm still going through all the side quests because I got lazy as a kid. I don't know why, but
I
I guess
did
for me,
I never finished Chrono Trigger then. Like I installed
the
its emulator sa isang tablet tapos I ended up grinding sa dinosaur part. And then I just kept
yeah,
grinding and grinding kasi merong speed up boost. And I got addicted sa grinding lang for the hell of it. And then your friend ko said, "Why are you grinding? There's a new game plus. What's wrong with you? Have you finished ba Chrono Trigger, Andren?
No, umabot lang ako sa Chrono Trigger dun sa fucking dragon boss. The mechanical
Was it
dragon
good?
one.
That was pretty
dude,
cool.
that's like
I
the
like that.
beginning. But that's a good boss fight.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Again, here's the thing. Like I told Zelda's like it's sometimes pati nga sa Suikoden. Am I saying the name right? Suikoden.
Suikoden,
Suikoden.
Suikoden. Suikoden.
Yeah, I got into it late na. Like I played that game 2006 na. And like I didn't get to appreciate it when the time it came out. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, the battle system is pretty basic. So, I got a bit tired.
I mean that's what I feel with like you tried to watch yung Psycho, yung original Psycho ni Hitchcock, and then
Oh yeah.
it's like, oh, like, wow, I don't like this. Pero
Wow, the fucking gate music. Yung,
I like
yeah,
Psycho 3 a lot. I watched
I get
Psycho
it.
3, ganon. Pero it's like, how can you blame it? It started everything. Alam mo yun?
Exactly. Yeah.
So like, if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
really into like yung later parts, it's gonna be like, it's kind of like when I went back to play Mega Man Legends, tas parang why can't they have a skip button on all of this horrible dialogue? I just want to I've read it 3 times before the next button comes up na, and I hate this.
That's what makes Mega Man great, no? Tank controls.
It's great. It's a good game. Everyone shut up about Mega Man Legends.
Oh, I never played Mega Man Legends actually.
I don't think it's that good, pero maganda yung graphics. I'd say the
Yeah,
graphics is really good.
aesthetically,
That's
dude, it
charming,
looks so
yeah.
cute.
The
Like,
story
there's
is
this
great.
monkey that saves the
The
game.
story is great. There's like actual voice acting ganon. It's just it's one of those games it's like Skyrim. It's not the battle system that you come for.
I guess so. Yeah.
For you guys, what's the most rewarding ending to a game that you've ever experienced? Because I feel like that's another thing that rewards players if the game developer makes good with their promise and the ending actually delivers. But I just realized that rarely happens for a lot of games.
I mean,
I have some in mind. I want to hear your guys'
I have
thoughts.
the complete opposite of what you're asking, which is very
Oh, okay.
unhelpful.
Okay lang. No, you can start with that.
Dark
Like, this is a
Souls.
bad example. Parang ganun.
Dark Souls. It's like,
Dark
huh?
Souls.
What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna play again. I don't give a shit. That's literally what. I guess I sat on a chair. Good for me.
Oh, satisfying ending. I think.
Like rewarding ending. We're like, oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
all the hours that I
Sige.
put in, it's like
Hey, you go
Andren
first yourself.
muna. I have a
See,
favorite
I
ending.
saw this ending before in another podcast. So you go first yourself.
Okay, sige. You're gonna hate this. Andren's gonna hate this, and then River's gonna be confused. Final,
that's the
Final
formula of the
Fantasy
podcast.
8. I love the ending. We rewatched it like 100 times kami ng best friend ko. It's like, I just really like na si Zell eats a lot of hot dogs, yun yung ending niya. Na parang he finally got to eat yung cafeteria hot dogs niya, and everyone's dancing and everyone's happy. I just really like that. I love that game. But it's like a thing na I tried to play it again like last year. Tapos parang, like I don't have it in me. Ganon. Pero it's like the first real RPG I finished. I played it with my friend. Paulit-ulit namin nilalaro. So like, I can't hate on it kasi parang it feels like I'd be hating on my chubby high school self, which I already do plenty naman, pero
You know what's unrewarding sa games, River, is like
What?
I'm talking about Final Fantasy 8, where basically all of your classes don't matter because all of you are so overpowered na by the end. Like kasi yung a mage supposed to be yung mage, yung pinakamalambot sa party. Let's say it's like wrestling. Don't break kayfabe. So, and by the end of that game, it doesn't matter na your classes because all of you are so jacked up by the end. Like,
I'm surprised Andren doesn't love yung danger zone na limit break, which basically si Squall gets yung kanyang sword, yung gun blade niya, and then it produces like a giant laser sword that pierces yung atmosphere of
I
the
love the
earth,
blade.
and then it goes
I like
down
the
on the
blade.
enemy.
It's
And
dumb.
but
It's dumb.
pero you know
I
what
love it.
that is? That's only level 3 of 4 levels ng limit breaks mo. You'd think that'd be the last one because it's literally destroying the atmosphere. Yeah, pero like
Okay,
I can't defend much of yung Final Fantasy 8, you know.
yeah. Let's talk about good games now.
Okay, sige. Rewarding endings.
I talked about this, and it's close to what Giselle said. You Final Fantasy 9, the ending of like when they all meet up, and you realize that Vivi was the narrator the whole time, and he's dead. Nah. So he's just remembering the events that happened, and
Before
he's
he died.
narrating it in his death letter. And that twist was like, ooh. Even as a kid, realizing that, oh Jesus fucking Christ, this stinks. I actually almost cried at the ending of 9 when I played it as a kid. It came out 2000, so I was very, very old. I shouldn't be crying at fucking video games. It's fucking capitalist. Fucking. I don't know. It's just like the ending is so good. You realizing that Vivi was the narrator the whole game was damn. It struck really hard to me. Yeah. Oh, you haven't finished it, right? Yeah, you haven't finished it.
It's okay.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna play it
sorry.
eventually, and then I'll forget what you said because I have a short memory. But for me, I mean, in keeping with the theme of JRPGs, I guess. I don't know if you guys ever played like Xenoblade. Do you ever play Xenoblade Chronicles? It's on the Wii.
I
the
started
3DS,
yung
now on the
Xenogears,
Switch.
Xenosaga sa PS2. I know that's very far away from yung Xenoblade.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same guy who made it, but
I
it's
know.
very different.
You know,
And
I
the
think
reason why
I think he's
Oh,
not
go
that
ahead.
good. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's
Yeah,
fair.
go ahead. Go
It's
ahead,
like
River.
no, but it's like that guy makes some really amazing stories and then absolutely shit ones. So parang you kind of think that maybe he's just it's whatever he's watching at the moment that really informs what he's doing.
Guys,
Yeah, because I feel like
siya rin ba yung gumawa ng Sino Warrior Princess?
No, that you
Okay,
know who
go ahead,
made
River.
that? You know who made that? Si Sam Raimi.
Huh?
Sam
What?
Raimi
Really?
made that. Siya yung showrunner ng
Sino
Sino
War-
Warrior Princess. Si Sam Raimi, Spider-Man guy.
Ooh,
I didn't know
interesting.
that.
That's why he shows up sa
I didn't
Evil
know.
Dead. Anyway.
Go ahead, River. I'm sorry.
So it's Xenoblade, right? Like what Giselle said, na baka the developer is just making whatever he based whatever on. But like the ending kasi in Xenoblade, and this is like a generic ending when I say it in plain words. Na obviously you fight God, like in most JRPGs, you fight the literal like like formation of God. But it's different in Xenoblade because the lore in Xenoblade is you're on a giant, on a living bionic giant that's fighting a mechanical giant. And they're like the size of two planets, and they fought, but they both killed each other at the same time. It was a stalemate, and they both died. And then all the living creatures on the bionic giant, they're like human beings, animals, whatever. Then the mechanical one is all these robots and machines and whatnot. And then the whole time you think it's like, oh, it's like an us versus them story, black and white, whatever. But in the end, it does this thing that makes it so that it's the organic beings that are actually bad, and it's the mechanical beings that were bystanders. And I don't want to like totally explain the story because I'd be here for like 2 more hours. But
I find it
That sounds like a
interesting,
Sino. Yeah, that's a Sino game.
yeah, but how? Okay, I'll just spoil the ending, I guess.
Oh.
It turns out it's set on Earth, but like our Earth, because what happened was the god that you killed is this human being that created a simulation
Fucking hate
of
this.
of an alternate world that human beings can move to when they die, and that's what that is. And it's like a simulation of a anyway. It delivered it in such a way that it made it feel like I finished Gurren Lagann, but I was in the
Okay.
moment.
I think
Yeah.
you'll enjoy, like, with what you're saying. Kasi I want to hate it, but like I like those kinds of
I hate
twists.
it. But yeah, it's cheesy. It's everything.
I think you'll
That-
enjoy
that's
18
part of
Sentinels,
JRPG.
13 Sentinels. I think you're gonna enjoy that game,
I'll look at it.
River. Yeah, it's
Okay, River. That guy, si Sino guy. I played yung Sino Saga.
Yeah.
The Sanasaga one starts with yung monolith from 2001 ni, ni Kubrick. Like, yung opening cinematic is like,
May mga unggoy?
yeah, pero it's a bunch of Africans who discover yung black monolith. And then, yeah, I just
Did
don't
you say
trust him
African?
anymore because he never delivers on the story of his Sena And then you
You know,
describing that is like, I hate you.
I'll simplify it for you. I'll simplify. I'm trying to simplify Lam
I
River.
do
Correct me
like
if
it.
I'm wrong.
Go then.
The humans
Oh.
were the true monsters all along. I think.
Yes. Uh,
That sounds extraordinarily on point kasi I remember Senosaga having like encyclopedic entries na babasahin mo lahat. It was fun. It was fun at
yeah.
that time. Ganun.
It overwhelms you on purpose just so you don't notice how it's full of shit. But like in the moment, you're like, wow.
With what you said, River, it kind of reminds me of Metal Gear. For some
Okay.
reason.
Can I like tell a tangential story? So like me and my best friend, we went back sa Batangas. Tapos we were hanging out and then we were hanging out with this other friend of mine. Tapos parang sabi niya, "Hey, samahan niyo ako sa isang birthday." I have to wait. I have to wait for River to come back kasi this is a life lesson for the youths. Yung kinukwento ko about. Okay,
Let's tell these youngins
you're
about
back.
real video
You're
games,
back. Okay.
Giselle.
What part did I lose you?
You and your friend in Batangas were, and then you cut off.
Okay. We were hanging out with another friend and then yung third friend said, "Hey, you wanna come with me to this birthday party ng friend ko?" And then we went to sa birthday party. It was like at this random resort sa gitna ng bukid. Tapos nakasakay kami lahat ng motor ng mga scooter, right? And then when we came there, there was no one except this one guy. Tapos we didn't think much of it pero like it was like a whole resort na maliit pero like ang laki nung handa. There's like a buffet ng pansit and like may lechon and like whatever you can think of. It's like a real fiesta. Tapos it was just me, Joseph, yun yung best friend ko, and then yung isa naming friend si Von, siya yung nagdala sa amin doon. So technically, the only guy who went to this guy's birthday na he knew was Von. This is a whole fucking party where just one guy went. Tapos pero like we still hung out, we drank, we rode like a mechanical bull. Meron dong, it's not like yung, it's like yung maliit lang siyang, it's like a saddle na mechanical and we just played with it.
Yeah.
We got drunk and then we hung out there until like 5 a.m. Tapos parang we were talking about how to make the best pancit and stuff. Tapos parang pero when we finished yung party, na parang we were just overwhelmed with all of the fun stuff that we did. Yung life lesson that we learned was parang that guy's lonely. He didn't get, like, no one went to his fucking party. Just one dude and two fucking randos kinain yung pansit niya. I feel like yun yung tangential story dun sa sinasabi mo with Xenoblade na parang it overwhelms you in the moment but it's empty.
But when you look back, you're like, wow, that was sad.
That was sad. Pero I really want to play you Xenoblade nga. Like, it's one of the
It's
best
really
RPGs
good.
though, right?
It-
You played
I
yung
agree.
remaster?
Yes, it fixes all my problems. I've played it in the Wii first as a kid, but it has this like really dumb thing that I don't know why they thought was a good idea. But you know how like some quests in a lot of JRPGs you have to get 5 of this, get 12 of that, and you know how like sometimes you can see what it looks like. There's like a sprite or whatever. In Xenoblade, they all look like one thing: a ball of light. That ball of light could be anything. It could be like a monster part. It can be a piece of a shoe. Like it's just it
Oh.
because there's 1,000 things, and I think they didn't have enough time, so they made every drop a ball of light, and they fixed it in the remaster where the ball of light has different colors now, and that's how you know. That's how you know what you're picking up.
Okay, sige, that's cool.
Also, I looked up what you said, Andren, yung 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. It's made by Vanillaware, and I love Vanillaware. I played.
What happened to them? Why aren't there any 2D
That's what I mean.
games like
I
that?
was watching a podcast discussing the ending of that game, and I was like, wala ako, the 30 minutes siya diniscuss yung ending, and I didn't get any of this. So I think You're gonna
Okay.
enjoy that.
I love not knowing the ending of
Um,
things. Because they made
yeah,
this game called Muramasa. Do you play that game? I mean, it was on the Wii, and it's on the PS Vita, so two very inaccessible consoles. But it's called Muramasa, the Demon Blade.
I
It's
okay.
I was playing something like that over the weekend, but I don't know if it was Muramasa. I was pretty sure that it was. I was playing it on a Vita. I was pretty sure that it's like Vanillaware kasi it's got yung trademark style nila.
yeah, it has hand painted graphics. It's
Is there
hack and
like a
slash.
is
I
there like
think
a boss na you fight na it's just a foot tapos you jump on
yes,
the foot? Yeah, that's
yeah,
Muramasa.
that's
Oh,
the
that's
end.
was pretty
It's
cool.
Muramasa. It's a good game. Yeah,
Oh.
it's
Um,
rewarding because it. I'm trying to tie it back to rewarding, but like it
pero,
rewards you because there's two stories and they combine, and also the combat is really good. And I like a game with good
oh,
combat.
hey, River, do you know a
Yes.
game that intertwines two stories, has great combat, and a great ending?
What?
Yakuza Zero, baby boy. You
Yes.
played it.
Oh,
I haven't finished
Especially,
it yet. I'm
have
still
it.
playing
you
through it.
haven't finished it yet?
Nah, I'm still playing through
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I have it.
We can talk about the ending, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is a good
So
one. Yeah.
so we got story, we got point system. Ano yung you said five things right na rewarding sa video
I said
games.
like three or five things. Like I said, like if it makes you feel like if you're reliving the fantasy,
Mm.
that's the rewarding feeling. Then like in the Arkham games where you feel like Batman, and that's the reward you get.
I
You
got
beat up the homeless.
I got another well hindi. Okay, I guess sometimes it's yung story na parang when you help someone it feels good. Pero like I I don't know where to put it, pero like something na a game that makes you feel present, okay? I know na we've been talking about Spiritfarer a lot, pero like that also goes into like other games like Tony Hawk and like the Dark Souls, yung parang where you're just really in the moment when you're playing it, right? Pero like I noticed na sa Spiritfarer, a lot of yung tasks that you have are meditations really. They're like based on the idea of meditations like if you got yung smelter, right? Na usually if it was just a normal game you'd like go left and then go right and then go left and then that be it. It'd be set amount. Pero like the fact that you
Um,
have to look at yung little dial in the middle is like, oh,
yeah.
I can't not I can't not focus on this in this moment, right? Tapos it was like it wasn't like sobrang obvious sa akin. And then nangyari yung part with the snake where makes you meditate. Tapos parang, oh, like a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff is a meditative, right? It's like yung rhythm game where you're trying to make the thing grow and then it's just a lot of you're here. Ganun. Tapos parang, it's very cool. I like it when games do that.
Like waiting for the food to cook. That's one of them. Those moments. The fact that it makes you wait on purpose. And a lot of people, I don't know about maybe it's just a modern gamer thing, but people hate waiting. If
Yeah.
you notice, now they want something to happen now, instant gratification, or these
Yeah, like
tiny
Sonic,
rewards for the
he's
major
never
reward.
on that watch, pare.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Sonic's got to be somewhere.
No, that's why I
Yeah.
kind of bulk at yung idea of quality of life things. I understand naman na it's almost like saying na parang if you're like reading Shakespeare, tapos if someone said, "Oh, I have a quality of life version para sa'yo," and it's just plain English, parang okay, that's easier
Yeah.
to read, pero like
Example.
I need to go back to the
Easy on the arth thous,
At,
pare.
diba? So parang, like, when I was gonna play yung FF7, I wanted to play yung original version na parang without yung mods and stuff. Kasi para I don't really give a shit about yung mods. I don't know if there's gonna be a mod na parang sobrang gaganda yung original FF7 to the point na hindi siya magiging blocky Popeye arms and stuff. It's still the same fucking game. I don't know, right? I don't know if ganun clunky naman yung menu system. I didn't find it clunky, so parang
You know what game you'll enjoy, Giselle, na it's stripped down, tinanggal lahat ng quality of life issues to the point of madness. I think you'll enjoy Red Dead Redemption 2, dude. Kasi that fucking
yeah.
open world game, it has no fucking fast travel. It has no fucking anything. Like, literally, when you pick items, you need to press R1 and look at the fucking drawer to open it, and it feels so every gun feels sluggish kasi they really wanted to replicate
Yeah.
how fucking the guns felt back then. And here's the thing, here's a rewarding thing that I like about Red Dead 2 did. Again, that game was so for me, but like I like the rewarding feeling where the game shocks me into what's gonna happen. Yeah, like the way they do it, because there's a part in that game where you're just riding your horse. Again, it could happen anytime, and then you suddenly fall off it. And then a cutscene starts. Now you have tuberculosis pala. And I'm like, wow, like,
Snow.
That's shocking.
yeah. I was so shocked because it doesn't happen. You don't trigger it. It just happens like after a mission, like you could be riding 45 minutes later, you fall off your horse. What the fuck? This never happened ever. And then it literally, parang in-ingrain niya sa plot na, okay, Arthur, you have tuberculosis, you have...
That's so fucking smart. That's cool.
That's really clever. I like that.
I was
Yeah.
like,
That is
Arthur,
rewarding.
that was fucking shocking. Like, let's talk about twists. Yun yung twist na fuck. Kasi usually video games are structured in a way that the twist will happen in a certain cutscene. This
Yeah.
happened while playing the fucking game, and like,
Organically.
yeah. So
It's
yeah,
really
That's
clever.
so-
It's kind of like yung ano, plug the controller to port 2. That's so dumb. It's
It's
so
kind of
dumb.
like,
Yeah.
it's kind of
I
like,
had
parang
that moment. It's,
times of PS4.
What river? What river?
I was gonna say I had a moment. I have a moment like that. It's kind of. I mean, it's not structured na parang organically, but in all the games I'm talking about are gonna be mostly Nintendo games. You can clearly tell like what
That's
I grew up
fine.
with. But in there's a Legend of Zelda game on the DS called Phantom Hourglass, and you're kind of a pirate, and you sail across the seas. You go island to island. It's very cute. It's very fun. There's a puzzle na in order to go to a certain place, you need to follow the exact route that you draw with the DS stylus, or else you'll get blown away by the wind. So there's like a dead zone that you don't get blown by the wind. But to know that, there's a temple that you go to that has the map etched on the wall. And it's on the wall, because the DS has two screens, right? It's on the wall here on the top screen, and on the bottom screen, you have your map. And you know how you solve it? You have to close your DS.
That's fucking.
Oh fuck you!
You close the DS, and then it.
That's great. I mean,
No, that's fine. No, that's how I felt as a kid. But I didn't say fuck you because I was a kid. But you close the DS and you mold the etching onto your map. I was like, what?
Wow, that's like.
It's that yeah.
I
I
I
was
love
like,
that
"Jeez."
moment.
And I felt rewarded because I thought of that as a
fuck
kid.
you. I meant it like,
No, I understand.
Damn, that was-
No, that's true.
That'd be
That's how I
cool.
felt.
That's so
when I was a kid.
cool. Ano ba yung ganong moments? Na serious now. The it's that discovery moment. That's like one of the things.
Yeah,
na
that's a
rewards
rewarding
me.
feel. The discovery moment. Yeah.
Discovery moment. You know what would happen with me sa moment na yun? Parang ano, it'd be like, I can't fucking get through this. I'm gonna go to GameFAQs. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm playing on emulator, so I
They-
can't do that.
They did that pero in a shittier way sa ano, sa Breath of the Wild with the puzzle na parang you gotta flip in like handheld mode.
Oh, yeah.
That fucking ball thing fucking sucks. It was not like, okay, yun lang pala. Sometimes that's the risk with that eh. Okay, yun pala, tang ina mo. Yung ganun.
There's two outcomes when you find out a solution of a puzzle. You're like, oh wow, that's really clever, or like, oh shit, I would never have figured that out.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I think the closest one, off my top of my head lang is like yung sa Metal Gear Solid, the first one, where you need to read the fucking code in the back of the fucking...
Oh
But
yeah.
here's the problem. Here's the problem. When me and my cousin bought it, no, dude, walang nakalagay kasi pirated lang shit.
Yeah, that was yun yung nangyari sa akin na parang
And you know how much of a fucking psychopath my cousin was? He was there for like 10 hours just inputting random shit to get through the game. And he did. He fucking And that was so rewarding kasi he was literally a hacker, pare. When he did that. Kasi wala yung code eh. Like literally ang box ng Metal Gear na binili namin, nakalagay lang Metal Gear sa harap. Tapos yun lang, that's it.
Can
Walang
you,
fucking code.
can you imagine yung mga Chinese and it's Chinese, ha. Yung mga namirata nun. And then they were laughing to themselves na, wala sila nung code, putang ina nila. Kasi that's yun yung experience namin, yun yung experience ng kaibigan ko, yun yung experience ng lahat ng tao sa Batangas. Parang, tangina naman, paano makontak si Master who the fuck, ganun. I had that experience dati with playing Prince of Persia. Yung original the MS-DOS game kasi you needed a manual to check off yung parang which of the potions wasn't poison. And then parang isang beses na ako nakalampas kasi I randomly picked the right one. Pero like, yan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ran yeah.
Well, by random, pero like that's like out of 100 or tries, ganun,
Yeah.
whatever.
Hindi ginawa lang din sa ko. Like, I was like, bumalik ako, like literally, he started playing like some in the morning. Snow hapon, nandiyan ka pa rin. Kain na daw.
Pero isn't it interesting yung things like yung sinabi ni River or like yung sa Metal Gear na sinabi mo? Those are things na, okay, this is just gonna be a value judgment, pero like, those are things that are amazing one time, right? As compared to something like, kunyari, like you're playing a game na very visceral feeling, na it's always amazing if you like it, right? Well, I guess everything wears off naman after a while, pero like, it is nice that you had that aha moment and it's actually like a memory. Parang, oh, I have to do this sa aking Switch, ganun. Not Switch, 3DS. That's pretty cool. That one thing like that for me was Super Mario 64 when you had to look up dun sa to get to the stage na sky stage. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, ganun. You know. I like Discovery.
Yeah.
Ganun.
Yeah, that's very rare for games nowadays. Because I don't know if it's like an ego thing from the game developers. Now they want everything that they made to be known. But there's some game developers who sprinkle something like special, even though like 2% of the people who play it will actually notice or see it.
I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think it's
People
an
that make
ego
Dark
thing.
Souls do that.
I don't think it's an ego
don't- yeah.
thing. I think it's like kung
Maybe
yari,
it's a budget thing.
if it was like, let's say GTA, and then this guy had this really cool idea. Yeah, this is the one building that you can go in, and it's a whole level. And then we spent 6 months making this level. Sasampalin siya ng developer, no, ng series. What the fuck? You're wasting company time. No one's gonna see this. It's that. It's like the bigger
I suppose.
the bigger the game, right? The less personality you can inject into it in a way, because it's like you can't really hide secrets from 100 people, you know. If it's 100 people making a game, right? Parang
Yeah.
Especially now since my internet. Again,
Yeah,
I keep
they
harping.
do it. Yeah.
I keep harping back on like why I love 2 so much. It's like that game was marketed as the sequel to 1 where you play a solid snake, and then suddenly like in the start you play as this blonde-haired pretty boy, and okay, I really like this. Like goddamn Kojima. Parang this is my creation and I can destroy it if I want to. Like yeah.
I like that.
That-
Ganun.
yeah.
Okay, we got through like what makes video games rewarding. Let's talk about what the pet peeves. 30 minutes more lang, pero like what the pet peeves
Yeah.
that parang kind of ruin the rewards to like
Oh, that's a
thing.
good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Pero
For
pero
me-
to before pala we go on, I would like to say na the best reward is when a game rewards you with a new game plus. Kasi the game is just, it's basically like, imagine the game as a person, parang your reward is just me, baby. I'm so perfect. Just play me again.
I'm all you need, baby.
Yeah.
You reward this. It's me, but easier. I'm easy now. Yeah, well,
It's me, but you know what to expect, so you'll never
Yeah.
be disappointed.
and you're level 99 now, and everyone dies with 1 hit.
Okay. Sige. The things that like ruin your rewards in games, ganun. And I like to think na pala na cheats are a part of this, and then this is gonna be a topic for a different day, pero like someone asked pala na ito, let me ask you guys, would you guys want to be immortal?
No.
Yeah.
You would want to be
Okay.
immortal, Andren? Okay, I did not expect that.
That's the greatest spirit, dying. So I
Oh,
want to
okay.
be.
Well, okay. Sige. Hindi,
Yeah.
kasi I was thinking na,
I want to be immortal, but I could kill myself. Does that count?
no. Yung,
That's not immortal then. You're still mortal,
God
but
damn it!
with
No,
well,
no.
conditions.
no,
Sige pala.
pero, no,
Sige
pero
pala.
like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, the games are rewarding because there are limits, right? And I think any gamer, if you ask them na parang, do you want God mode? They kind of know na parang,
Oh,
that kind of ruins the game. Like, if I'm the best, there's no challenge and it's not fun. And I'll just be in creative mode or like I'll just be on cheats and there's no challenge for me. And it kind of
it's not a
saps
game.
everything out of it.
Yeah.
So yun yung first part. Cheats are fun for a while pero they kind of ruin the experience ganun. Like it really opens up yung idea na the more freedom you have in games, the less fun it'll be if it's not well designed. You know what I'm saying?
If
Ganun.
it's not reined in, if there's no limitations, like
Yeah.
I said earlier, na gamers will find the most efficient way to beat the game, not the most fun way.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
yeah.
To your point kanina, Giselle, about like a thing that pet peeve ko in like yung sobrang hindi rewarding sa story. For me, it's like let's talk about. I'm gonna spoil lang Last of Us
Go
2.
go go.
Kasi,
I don't
okay,
care.
here. Kasi the reason why I enjoyed the first one because of the story, not the gameplay. Pero here's the thing in 2, what bugged me about the story is that game is brutal, by the way, in Last of Us 2. You end up killing the faction that killed Joel. So yeah, you end up fucking shooting a pregnant lady in the fucking chest.
In the baby, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and the
bad.
baby. Yeah, and you fucking murder the leader of the yung anak ng leader of the Fireflies. And all of this is building to the final confrontation between you and Abby. Abby is the one who killed Joel and the main baddie, let's say. So yeah, you have a fist fight, and then you try to drown her in the river, and you don't do it. Say, you know why? Killing is wrong. And I'm like, okay, what about every fucking one you fucking? You're like, okay, it's like, what? What? What the fuck
Bitch,
is
you
this?
just killed the whole village.
Pero now, pare, okay, mali lang pala lahat yun. I'm gonna let you go. And I'm like, okay,
But that's like
you do you.
that's a fucked up thing that the game forced you to do, diba? If there was like a pacifist run, if it was like sort of like Metal Gear or something, na you could get away with stealthing the whole thing, then that would kind of make sense, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that you can't not is that's true, right? You can't not.
Yeah, because some of them are tied to the story, like the pregnant
That's
lady.
why I love Dishonored so much, Giselle. Kasi
Yeah.
the ending changes if you don't kill.
Depending if
Like,
you kill
kind of like
someone.
Undertale. Yeah, the game changes if you can play that game without killing anyone. Dishonored. So yeah, yeah. Basically, I hate games that fucking shoves an ending to your face, pero it doesn't justify everything you did gameplay wise,
Yeah.
leading to that thing. It seems so tone deaf to me.
That's true. Okay, I get it. I get why people would be mad at yung Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Also, at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like an impossible sequel.
I'm not even defending all those stupid people. Ooh, why do you get to? Why is everyone a fucking lesbian? Ooh, why did Joel die? I don't even fucking. I don't. Di ko nga pinapansin yung mga yun eh. Shut up. I mean, yung ending lang mismo. I can't fucking strangle this girl who fucking killed my dad. Okay, you don't even give me the option of being a horrible, like, an option. You know what would have been cool? If Ellie was, siya na yung kontrabida sa next Last of Us. That would have been cool, pare. That would have been badass.
Oh,
They
that's
can set
cool.
up a villain. I mean, the point
Yeah.
nga, diba, with Last of Us is the everyone is a hero in their own story. Parang ganun yung dating na you never know. Like you think this person's the villain, but from their perspective, you're the villain. Ganun. Like,
Yeah, there are
who's the
people who are saying
people?
that Joel was the evil one, so one, which I didn't get.
Yeah.
By the way,
He-
mag-rant lang ako, which I didn't
Yeah.
get. It's not like the Fireflies gave him a fucking choice on the matter. Like, ooh, we're gonna kill your girl and fucking. They tricked him. Eh. They just said, oh, he's gonna be okay after this fucking operation. But no, they fucking tricked him. They didn't leave him a choice. That's why he killed everyone because they lied to him, diba? River.
Yeah, they didn't tell him that the operation would kill Ellie. I think.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so how is Joel the bad guy in that situation? Or whatever. How
Games are
about you guys?
games are
What's
dumb.
I guess for me, my pet peeve with rewards in games is, no, if you have to play the game in the least fun way to get the reward. There's some games
Oh, like
you have to.
Undertale, right? I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
No, 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 that
no, that's a
you.
fair point. That's a fair point. It's subjective kasi like if you enjoy killing in your RPG, Eddie doing the pacifist run in Undertale must be hell because to get the best ending, you have to do
Yeah,
something you don't like doing in the game.
yeah,
Parang ano,
Kasi it
uh,
constantly reminds you na parang killing is bad. Ganun. Pero that's fair
yeah,
kasi it's like, it also rewards you. Kasi yung politics ng game, right? It says that killing is bad. So it's a hellish game to play when you're killing. Pero like if you're not killing, it's quite pleasurable. Ganun. So it's like, so at least that makes
yeah.
sense. Yung kunento ni Andren with like The Last of Us 2 sounds like, oh, like that'd be like,
that was
um,
such bullshit, dude.
yun
That was
nga,
such.
I'd be annoyed with that. Parang, how about those people? That's how I feel about when I watch yung Extraction, yung movie ni Thor guy. Like
Oh, where he kills everyone.
he kills everyone, pero he saves one kid. Tapos parang, what about all of those other kids he also killed? Like that fucking kid that he punched in the face, or like that whole bus na pinasabog niya. It seems wrong.
I mean, because his mission was to protect the one kid, so maybe he's just doing his job. I
I
don't know.
mean, I get naman, pero also at the same time, when you do yung slow pants and it's like, I'm so happy that this one rich kid survived. Like, okay, I mean,
No, I go
context
with
naman.
it. Yeah. But I think like the reason why I brought that up is we keep talking about this game, but in Spirit Fair, there's did you finish it, not Giselle?
I have not. I'm trying
No,
to
it's
get
fine. I
back
won't see
there.
the ending. I won't see the ending, but there's this one passenger you get very late who is your teacher
Mm.
or a
Oh
teacher,
yeah, yeah. I
and
remember.
she's a dog, I think, and her thing is after you bring it to the Everdor, she sends you a posthumous letter that says your lesson's not done. You have to fully upgrade your ship. You have to do this. You have to like
Mm.
max everything out. Like I don't want to do that. That's not why I play Spiritfarer. I don't play
Mm.
Spiritfarer to like get all the upgrades to discover all
Mm.
the islands. I mean, the exploration's fun. I play it for the emotional impact of the story.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I don't know what the reward is. I'm sure it's worth it, naman. But
yeah. I talked about this a lot. River. Did you get to the bull and the bull one, the bull and the bird?
yeah. I sent them
Ah, yeah,
away.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was
Best,
Yung
best.
yung
heartbreaking.
yung
It was the
guy
best.
with like the stroke and shit, ganun.
Yeah. But how they describe it is how it slowly gives you the information. Is
Yeah,
what makes
dude.
it extra
And why
heartbreaking.
the bull doesn't move?
I'm
Pretty
currently
cool.
I'm currently in the Giovanni thing na parang they're slow dripping yung information. I
That's
don't
good.
like I don't like I don't like Lion Lady so much.
Oh,
Um
Astrid?
I think that's a me problem. It reminds me of a lot of people that I hung out with I just disliked kasi parang ano. I don't like that she doesn't want to eat yung aking cooking kasi pang mayaman. Tapos parang, I fucking
Yeah.
cooked this for you. You bitch. I made you bouillabaisse. Parang, I'm not gonna eat the rich people food. Parang, fuck you.
She wants to eat the rich instead because she's a no.
That's cool. I liked
Yeah,
yung,
union
I know it
leader.
was super simple, yung calling like a union thing, but that was fun. That was fun. Anyway. Yun pala yung
Yeah.
ending na ano, yun
Oh,
yung,
how about this?
sorry. Go.
Oh, no, good. No, go say what you're saying on the Spirit Fair because I'm gonna say a different topic.
No,
Oh,
no,
wait.
I'm fine. I'm done with Spiritfarer. I'm gonna play later.
Okay, I was gonna say like, how about this? What's the best reward in a game you've ever gotten? Like, could be an item, could be an ending, could be whatever.
I have one.
Go.
The first time you get the dubstep gun, there's so fucking Saints Row 4.
Yeah, that's it.
Saan to?
Saints Row
Saints Row
4.
4.
Oh, dubstep gun.
Like they literally give you a dubstep gun. And what's funny about this gun, Giselle, when you shoot it, again, overall basic, but it's so funny. Like when again, because the plot of Saints Row 4 basically my aliens and they're gonna fucking invade Earth and enslave all humankind. Basically yun. And yung aliens don't just they're super serious, huh? Like they're the only thing not funny in that game kasi
Are you
sobrang
serious?
seryoso.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then when you play this dubstep gun, the music changes, the ambient music changes into dubstep, like Skrillex style, and then everybody starts dancing. Even the aliens, the civilians, na nasa background. Dude, Damn cars, they start like hopping up and down.
Yeah.
Where you feel like, oh my god, this is so dumb. And it's so good.
That's
It's like it
fun.
comes in three flavors. Like you can mod that thing into three kinds of dubstep music: the pop dubstep, urban dubstep, and rock. One of you rock dubstep. And
I
it's
don't
so
know.
Yeah.
stupid.
I
I
think
don't.
there's
It's
a
so
polka version too. There's a polka gun. It's like the dubstep gun, but it shoots polka instead. Polka music.
it's
Oh
so
my
stupid.
god, that sounds awesome.
That's a good reward. That's a good video game reward. I like that.
Yes. I can think of others, but you guys go ahead.
I'm trying really hard not to bring up Zelda again, but there's another Zelda game.
Yeah,
In Link,
I
in
love
That's
Link's
Zelda.
fun. That's
Awakening,
fun.
Link's Awakening, one of there's a hidden dungeon called the Color Dungeon because it came out the Game Boy Color, so they're really showing off. Like, imagine back in the day,
That's awesome.
their
That's fucking
selling
awesome.
point is that this game has colors, more than one color. 'Cause there's this dungeon that you can't beat if you're not playing on the Game Boy Color. Because if you're playing the regular Game Boy, like the go
Oh
to the red
wow.
door, and you're like
This
all
is
the
cool.
doors,
This is cool, dude.
yeah, all the doors
This
are
is cool.
spin screen. I'm not gonna figure this out. But if you play on the Game Boy Color, like that's the red door, that's the blue door, so you know. And then at the end of the dungeon, you're given the choice. Nah, you either get a red tunic that gives you like extreme really high attack, or the blue tunic that gives you really high defense. And the cool thing about this dungeon, it's like you can there's no order, so you can get to it like really early in the game, and the whole game becomes really easy if you get either one of those tunics. I like that as a design, as a reward, because how you get it is if you actually just talk to the people, if you do the things that I don't know that a lot of people don't like doing sometimes in games, is talking to random NPCs. But if you go to the library, talk to the people, read the books, they tell you like there's a hidden dungeon. Did you know that? And then that's the reward for paying attention to the game. And I like when the developer does that.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm trying to think of something that because Zelda is really good with like reward and like baiting you, right? It's a very it's one of it's a classic game of that, right? Um, what's a cool reward? What's a cool
I
reward that I got?
while you're thinking of one, just I have
Oh,
one.
go go.
Last one. Kasi, do you know that game War of the Monsters?
PS2?
Yeah, PS2.
Is it yung? Oh yeah, the kaiju game. That's a fucking fun game.
It
Two
was
player.
great. It was great. And it justified the slowness of the gameplay because of course you're monsters.
Mm.
Pero if if you have a save file ng Twisted Metal Black,
You get to
you
play
get a
Sweet
secret
Tooth.
skin. Yeah, you get to play a Sweet Tooth, pare.
Yeah, I
If you
remember
have
this
an extra,
robot Sweet
Oh,
Tooth.
yeah,
Yeah,
so cool, pare.
yeah, that was a
Like I
good.
even, yeah, that's the reason why I bought the game. Actually, the original thing, like, dude, you can get to
just
play a Sweet Tooth here. Dude, that sounds
That
awesome.
game is fun. I'm surprised na parang there aren't more games that
It's slow, eh? It's slow.
are
Like
large.
people now,
Pero like
people these
it.
days like want precise controls. That
Pero
game is like Rampage in a way that is pretty slow,
Rampage
pero
was
I love it.
so fucking fun growing up. Pero it's just ang weird sa akin na you have all of this graphical power and almost no games that are destroying buildings na giant stuff. I think it's such an
there's
untapped thing. Eh.
there's one that I'm playing right now called Red Faction Guerrilla.
That's
You know
the
that
one
one?
of the best, right, with the destructible
Yeah,
things.
you're in Mars and you destroy buildings, and the whole goal is to destroy buildings, demolish bridges. It's really fun, and it's kind of like I think it's better than Just Cause. If you guys have played Just Cause, nah, it's kind of
I
the
played the
same.
first one.
Yeah, but yeah, that one like, but that's not even a modern game. That came out in like what 360 PS3.
Ah,
So
tagal na
yeah,
yan.
that's 2 generations ago. God.
Well, alam mo, River, me and Giselle are monsters in our own way kasi we burned bridges. Eh. So, yeah,
Fuck is
I don't know.
bitches. Um, I don't know kung ano yung pinakamagandang reward sa game. Kasi I feel like if it's like an end game reward, it kind of sucks kasi the game's over. I do have that feeling na parang when I play a game and I'm playing it, it's fun, and then when it's over, I feel empty. And I think that's a common feeling naman. Pero it's like, let me dissect that feeling. It's because I feel empty because I played 100 hours and I know so much about this, and now it's useless information inside
Yeah,
of my head.
it's outside of you, exactly. Like you have
Right.
no one to share about that. Like you
Yeah.
spend all the time, gain
Yeah.
nothing.
Tapos parang you're never gonna be like the best Dark Souls player. You're never gonna be like the top. Pero like you have all of this muscle memory for what? Ganon. So like pero like I don't know. Kasi it's also like 100 hours that you're having fun mostly, diba? So I don't know. Um kasi now that I'm older, I don't really give a shit about yung stories sa games. Like yun nga tong Spiritfarer has a really nice story ganon. Pero like the story
Yeah,
is almost
like what you said.
incidental eh.
I'm
Well,
I'm
it's not
I'm at your
incidental.
boat trend.
Oh.
Nandun rin ako sa boat mo just because I don't give a shit about stories and games anymore. Pero like what with River said sa Disco Elysium and like Night in the Woods and Spiritfarer, like maybe I should like play games without a podcast, an alt-right podcast running in the background.
Okay.
No joke,
Alex
no, I'm
Jones.
just
It has to
joking.
be left leaning instead.
Left. Um pero
Yeah,
like
but I think for
sorry.
me, oh sorry,
No, no,
I
no,
was
go,
gonna
go, go.
say with me with my stance on story in video games, I don't care about like grand stories anymore, like
Mm,
how it used to be. You play a game, cutscene, then you play a game. I like organic, na in the moment stories. That's why I really like Spiritfarer because the story is a part of the game. And
Yeah,
mm,
same thing I mentioned nga with Night in the Woods was like that too, and Disco Elysium. Na the story doesn't interrupt the game because when you play in like the heyday of the 360 era with like Gears of War and Halo, like a lot of those games, the story interrupts the fun part, which is the actual shooting and the action moments. Like I get that you need time to breathe sometimes, but you can do that in like the gameplay din naman without having to unnaturally cut. That's what's called a cut scene. It interrupts. So like there's yeah. So I get what you mean when you don't like story in games
I
sometimes.
think it's also like the graphics are so good now. Kasi I remember sa PS1 era or like even sa PS1 era, you would have these blocky, chunky, shitty graphics on screen, and then suddenly magsi CGI, and it's like, that's amazing! Look at them! They look so beautiful! And then you go
yung
back
Yeah,
to
main,
sa
yung main
shitty
thing,
game
yung main
mo.
thing ko na yung siphon filter sa PS1.
I
Sino
like,
angas ng fucking CGI.
one of the coolest things that is never gonna be done again na in modern gaming is sa sa Final Fantasies when they do yung actual in-game models against like a CGI backdrop na gumagalaw na parang whoa, yeah, inside the cool graphics ganon. I get why that's such a reward dati with like
Nine did that really good.
well yeah, that's true. Pero like nowadays when the main graphics are some like it's an interruption. It's dumb to have yung interruptions like that. It's like it's not unless sobrang ganda nung graphics. And I don't know, like CGI and like main game graphics. There's a problem kung mas maganda yung CGI mo with like the in-game graphics nowadays, I think.
Again, one more thing before like we end. One more topic,
Mm-mm.
please, kasi
Okay,
I'm gonna have a.
last na.
Is there a game after you played that left a hole in your heart? Oh God, nawala na yung fuck. I feel lonely after finishing. Here, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. It's Persona 4. Kasi I love endings where hindi sobrang hindi it's not a death. It's not this ooh like a world ended, like a planet got destroyed, like millions of families were burned. I like a simple ending where it's a bit bittersweet. Like kasi yung ending ng Persona 5, it's a combination on where me and my friend were when we played this game. So Persona 4 pala. Kasi like I told you guys na me and my friend played this at the time that we weren't happy in where we were in our lives, and that game just taught you like again, this is coming from a middle class perspective, like okay, it's okay to fuck up sometimes, it's okay to follow your dreams. So again, it's pretty corny, pero the ending of that game is you after going through this whole adventure with your friends, and you beat the bad guy, you beat God, which happens in like what River said in every fucking RPG in the fucking world, pare. So, but the ending is so simple. Like, kasi your time in that setting, you're gonna go back to the big city. Like you just visited there for a year.
Uh,
Oh,
So the ending of that game is like you riding in a train and all of your party members chasing after you and saying goodbye.
I hate
And
that.
then,
oh,
dude,
that's so
and
Ghibli. That's very Ghibli.
yeah, and as you're going na in this train, all of them are waving goodbye, and the credits roll, and it cuts every memory you have with them in that year.
Oh,
And I'm like,
dude,
Oh,
God damn it.
that's
And
so
like
good.
me and my friend, like, dude, man, let's follow our dreams, dude. Let's do everything we want, man. Because we're not getting any younger. We're not getting any younger. And like, damn,
oh,
after playing that game, we got really depressed and we both got hammered. Like we just drank so much after.
sounds sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
that's the greatest ending ever. Like it's not in your face. It's not a sad ending, but it
It's
it
bittersweet.
it it addresses an end to a part of your life.
Ah,
And whew, that was
I have
that's
I
it
have
was
I have a
it was
story.
good.
I mean, I
Yeah,
have an ending then was like that. I have two. One is
yeah. Hell yeah.
one game na we played kami ni ng girlfriend ko si Caris. We played she watched me play Portal 2 to
ooh,
Oh,
completion.
nice.
And then you know yung ending with 2, right? Where you shoot the moon, right?
Moon.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Tapos parang I just remember her saying, hey, thanks for playing that." Na having me there play that because that was so cool. Tapos parang, "Oh, video games are amazing." And
It
also
is.
we played we played yung The Witness.
Ah,
That
yeah,
pretentious
we
fucking
talked
game
about that.
ni
Yeah.
Jonathan Blow. And like that fucking weekend was the funnest weekend kasi we were playing it. Tas parang, how do you solve this puzzle? Anong gagawin dito? We were in Los Baños sa loob ng campus. Doon kami nakatira. And then we actually went out of campus. Naglakad kami gitna ng gabi to go to a computer shop to figure out kung ano yung to go on GameFAQs to figure out some solutions, right? So it's like a game na sobrang fun when you're playing it na parang you get addicted. It's like puzzle
Yeah, it
solving. And then we got to the fucking ending. And it's like fucking Dark Souls ang tingin ng kami. So, what? This whole thing was a hotel? What the fuck are we playing? This fucking sucks.
You even say the same about Monkey Island. Fucking, oh my god, this was a
No,
fucking
Yeah,
theme
it
park.
was a
dude,
theme park. Yeah.
that game is so fun in the petas parang sobrang I mean, I know his point na parang you have all of this knowledge and it's useless. Pero like, okay, pero like that's not I had a really good time. You don't fucking take that away
You
with
can't
me.
take that away. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, how about you, River?
What was the question again? I forgot.
A
Uh,
game that leaves a hole in your
Yeah,
heart.
yeah.
oh,
After
they left a hole in you. I guess that's a good. For me, it's usually it's hard not to pick an RPG.
Mm.
But I mostly grew up with Western RPGs before I got to the JRPGs. So I played a lot of. Whenever I get into a game, like when a new game comes out, I want to play the first game in the series. So like when Mass Effect 3 came out, I played 1 and 2 and then 3. When Witcher 3 came out, I played 1, 2 and then 3. And
you
it's like
played the
that. Like
first two?
yeah, I did.
Damn.
I'm one of the few
Salute
people that played the first two Witchers.
dude.
But I was like,
Psychopath.
they're opposites because Witcher 3 has a really good ending, and Mass Effect 3 has a really shitty ending. But both left a hole in my heart because, like what Andren said, you have all these memories with all these fictional characters that you bonded with. You did the missions that specifically catered to their backstory, and you got to understand them more. And then when that's done, it's because how Mass Effect 3 ends. It doesn't matter what choice you make with the characters that you choose, the alliances that you make, the friendships, whatever, the enemies that you make. In the end, you just choose like what color do you want the ending cutscene to be? Because it's either you
What?
side with the end. Yeah, what color? Because what's gonna happen? So throughout Mass Effect, you fight these like godlike beings called I forgot their name, but yeah, the I forgot their name. That's how generic they were. But there's godlike beings. They feed on life, on organic life. So what they do is they create these teleporters called mass relays all around the world to connect the universe. So they can invent uh a system of civilization. So there's more and more life, and then these beings go in and they eat that life away, and then they start anew and make a new civilization and
So
so
it's
on.
farming. Okay.
Yes. So it's like, yeah, it's farming. It's like extra dimensional farming. But in the ending, it's either you choose to side with them, you choose to destroy them, or you choose to assimilate uh, all life, all organic life with like non-organic life. But what happens is it just makes a different color explosion. If you choose to side with them, it's a blue explosion. If you choose to destroy them, it's a red explosion. And if you choose to do the middle one, it's a green explosion. And that's it. But so that left a hole in me because I'm like, wow, that wasn't rewarding at all. I spent like literally
Yeah, basically, if you're
700 hours.
colorblind, pare, you wouldn't get a
Yeah.
fucking different explosion.
Yeah, I spent like 700 plus hours knowing the deep lore of this game, all the species, all the
Oh.
political
So
intrigue,
that's
and
why
then
people got pissed, River, because
yeah,
I heard that the true ending is in a DLC.
yeah.
So yeah,
So what the developers did, they tried to fix it. They added a fourth ending where you're like, I choose no choice, and you shoot like this like kid that is a representation of those like godlike beings trying to
I
talk to you
hate
through this
this. I hate
hologram.
this,
It's
River.
awful.
I fucking
Yeah.
hate
So
this.
so what that does is it doesn't have an explosion, and then that's the ending. But with Witcher 3 naman, uh, I played the first one. It's very clunky, but it's fun. I didn't actually finish it. I just looked up the ending because I got lazy. The
Uh,
second one I loved, and then the third one I adored because the ending is uh the whole theme kasi of Witcher 3 is you're getting old. Like for a Witcher, Geralt is very old because he's kind of immortal, but he's aging slowly. And you can tell throughout all that he's tired of his monster hunting life. He just wants to settle down. So throughout the game, you're actually slowly building this like farm, this like villa that you can live in. The thing is,
oh.
you're not. But the thing is, you don't know who to fill it with your friends and family because Geralt doesn't really have an immediate family. His mother like left him at the Witcher school to be mutated and experimented on. So you like end up creating this chosen family. Like Siri is your chosen daughter because she was sworn to protect her, and then you can choose like who's gonna be her mom, and then you have like
Oh.
Dandelion who's gonna be like
Actually,
the
this is
crazy
great.
uncle, and then in the end it's just Geralt and Siri. They after all this like epic journey of like killing dragons and fighting ghosts and whatnot, you just sit on a tree and then you like they're like that was a crazy adventure, wasn't it? And then they just reflect on what happened it's chill. They're still talking, but the credits are rolling, and they're just sitting by this tree, and the music's playing. It's really, really good. But either way, but they all left a hole in my heart because now I have all this extended info of the lore, and that's why I'm reading the Witcher books now because I'm like, oh, I gotta do something with this information, so I'm gonna read the books at least.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, like, to be fair, there's gonna be a sequel. Wait, Project Red did this, right?
No.
CD Project
Not
Red,
gonna be
yeah,
a
yeah,
sequel.
it's not gonna
Yeah,
be a
there's not.
sequel, man. I
There's
think they
oh
got
no.
one. Witcher. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. After
I
Cyberpunk, pare,
yeah,
I
wala
I
na.
don't think that's good.
Like you
Yeah,
know that you love the game franchise when you're playing the spin-off games that no one really cares about because like Witcher has this trading card game and I
yeah.
was hungry for
That's me with
anything.
Persona. I bought
Yeah,
the fucking dancing game, pare.
yeah,
I bought
exactly.
the fucking rhythm
I'll tell
game.
I'll tell you a story. Nandun si Andre nun eh. We have a friend si Mix who hates multiplayer games. She just
Yeah,
hates playing against other people. She sits on like yung starting line or like no, she goes reverse sa Mario Kart at parties just to troll people. And then she was telling me this story na parang she's playing Gwent and she's having such a great
yeah,
time. And then yung brother niya comes along, "Oy, ang galing ng kalaban mo." Say, "Hindi, computer lang 'yan." No, you're playing online. And then she got so mad. Tumigil siya maglaro ng Gwent because she's so anti-multiplayer for some reason. Anyway,
I hate it. I hate
that was
multiplayer.
not rewarding for her.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I found this extremely rewarding. First of all, I said it that, but it's true. Ganon. It's just I like what's happening sa podcast as we're profiling each other's experiences with like games and stuff, and it's like a lot of yung the overlap is very interesting. Ganon.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like when people listen to this, we're also talking about how games like affected our lives. Again, as middle class as that sounds,
Mm.
it really
Yun. Thank you, Andren, John Bernardo. Thank you, River Cruz, for another great episode. I'm gonna stop stream now. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Stopping stream. Stopping recording. That was great. That was great, guys.